Hi everybody, this is New Moon Child. Welcome to my channel. Happy Sunday to everybody and happy birthday to all my Pisces friends out there. Hopefully my friend Abby, tomorrow's her birthday. If she's she comes across the video and she sees it, at least she has a little birthday shout out. So yes, I like my Pisces, my water signs. I'm a water sign myself, so yeah, we connect in a lot of levels that I cannot connect with other signs, but that is okay. We all different and unique in our own ways, and we're here to coexist and to learn from each other, right? So, as promised, we're going to talk about healing and its frequencies. And also, I'm going to go through all 12 zodiac signs, and I am going to recommend what type of frequency you may want to hear for your healing process, for your healing journal. However, just keep in mind that this is not, it may not resonate for everybody. Everybody has their own healing journey. So if it doesn't resonate with you, maybe it's not meant for you. Maybe it's meant for someone else. But also, as an astrology student, I highly recommend for you to check all the other planet placements in your chart. Your rising sun, moon, and Venus, for example. Maybe other signs that I'm going to talk about may resonate with you more than with your sun, moon, or rising, okay? So with that being said, let's start with healing. What is healing? That is a question that I get frequently. And, healing is not as easy as it seems. And it's very challenging. One of the things, as my personal experience, it is a spiritual energy working deeply within yourself. It could be healing past trauma. It can be pain or any type of emotional disturbances that you may have experienced. But healing can mean a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be very specific. Healing is not linear. I think a lot of people have a misconception that, you have to spend within a year or 2 years, you can heal everything that you've gone through. That's not true. That's not true. It takes time. It takes a lot of patience. And one of the most important thing about healing is you have to be honest with yourself. And one of the most beautiful things about healing is that you don't have to worry about, anybody judging you. You go in to a level of depthness of things that you perhaps are embarrassed to share. But you need to be honest with yourself and look within and start having those conversations with yourself and how to better yourself as a person. So that's the beauty of healing. You don't have to share everything, but you have the ability to have to start to have those conversations with yourself and create a self-awareness about yourself. There are times that you can reach out to someone to help on your healing process, on your healing journey. Someone that you can confide, and someone that will hold space for you, that won't pressure you on your healing journey, and also will not judge you for the things you perhaps feel embarrassed to share. Okay, so healing, it's a lot of work. It's not pretty. To be honest with you, it's not pretty. There are parts of your healing journey that's ugly, and there's one that a lot of people don't talk about, is your anger journey. And what I mean about your anger journey is when you're extremely angry with yourself for allowing things that you should have never allowed to happen. That's one of the most difficult. I went through that angry version of myself in which I was just purging. I was really upset about things that happened 10 years ago. I'm like, why is it bringing it up? Because you know why? I suppressed it instead of actually saying something about it, defending myself about it. So that is one of the most difficult ones, because most of the time, those people are no longer around you and you cannot actually express how you really feel about it. So what I would do is I would journal a lot. I recommend that. Writing a lot, having this conversation with a person you're never going to see, but writing it out is a way to express all that anger, all that frustration that's coming within you. That was the most difficult journey. So with healing, have a lot of patience and have a lot of grace with yourself. Okay, we're not perfect. We all have skeletons in our closet and we make mistakes. And part of making those mistakes is what makes us better and help us grow as a better person, as a better human. okay? So don't ever think that your healing is going to be over within a year or two, because you know what? You can do it in small portions. Like myself, I started my healing journey back in 2020. It's 2026, and there are times I have to step back and recluse myself from the world, and I'm like, I need time for myself. I need self-care. I need self-healing. There are things that comes at me and it triggers me, and I'm like, and I ask myself, is like, why is this triggering? So then that's when I start having deep conversations. I'm like, oh, I get it as to why this triggers me. So let me work on that. Let me have a different reaction to things that triggers me. Okay, that's very important. There's a lot of self-awareness in healing. And I'm going to be honest with you, not everybody is willing to take that journey. Not everybody is willing to have that self-awareness. Not everybody's willing to have that honest conversations with themselves. But that's the journey that they pick. Sometimes people like myself that does a lot of healing, we always mention holding space for the person. And what that means is like giving them space, giving them grace and patience for them to figure out, what is their self-awareness, how to work on themselves. We're not here to fix people. That's not what we're here, but we're here to be a little bit guidance, shed a little light in their path, okay? I also recommend healers, if there's someone that does not want to heal, does not want to do anything, do not waste your time trying to fix people. That's not what we're here for. Everybody has their own journey, and everybody decides when is their right time for them to heal. Okay, I hope this helps a little bit to some of the questions out there. I know there's going to be a lot more, but this is very brief, and hopefully there's a better understanding what healing looks like. However, let's talk about healing the body with frequencies. One of the things when I started my healing journey is like I started listening to frequencies that make sense to me. Okay, I'll go to a YouTube channel and I start looking for meditations, things like that. And I really recommend for anybody when they start their healing process to look for frequencies, to look things that make sense to you. All right, that it's like, what? I like how this sound. Just start with that. Don't focus more as what is it that I need to heal? No. Just start with listening to frequencies like native drumming. I started with that and I was like, I like how this sounds. And then once I listened to the music and I did a little bit of research, I'm like, oh, I didn't know that I needed a little bit of healing of this. Do what makes sense to you, okay? Because your intuition and your guides are the ones that are going to help you on your healing journey. All right, so I'm going to read a little bit about healing frequencies. Frequency is the rate in vibration, and it is measured in hertz, okay? And I just want you to understand, this is a little bit more scientific, is our body is not made of only biochemical system. We're made with electrical currents and electromagnetic fields. Okay, we're very energetic beings, and this is nothing that is new. This has been going on since ancient times, in which our ancestors used a lot of like music vibrations for healing, like sound bath. That is not new. That's been going on during the Egyptian times, right? So this is nothing, what I'm saying is new. It's just like I want to create awareness, because sometimes we are so busy and tied up with our lives that we forget about our self-love and our self-care. And there are times that you have to retreat and connect with your ancestors. And don't think it's silly. Like if you want to hear something very, a chanting that, draws to you, is like there's no shame into it. It's something that you may need at that moment. Okay, so always be open to frequency. And also, I'm going to give you an example about frequencies. When we go to a nightclub and you're in a club and you're feeling the music, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Those are frequencies. If you think about it, that is a frequency that your body is like enjoying, and your body perhaps is like needs it. Like for example, yesterday I went to a nightclub and I've been like, what, I have not listened to music or been in the music scene for a very long time. And it happens to be, is like I was feeling the music, I was enjoying myself, and I was dancing, and I felt so relaxed and released. I released all my stress, and it felt good. That's an example of frequency. We like music. Music is meant to be in our lives, So when you listen to music, any type of music, is because you really need it. Okay, so let's start with there. So one of the things I would like to mention is like our molecules, atoms, cells, and tissues have our own frequency. Okay, so like electrical currents and magnetic fields, healing frequencies aim to restore the natural vibration of our body. Okay, so the frequencies, what it does, it not only helps with past trauma, but it also helps with deep sleep. It also helps with, illnesses. It helps you with opening up your consciousness. It helps you with, opening your seventh chakra, your root chakra, your heart chakra, your crown chakra. There's a variety of frequencies out there that helps us to heal, and it makes us feel good. So all those frequencies, what it helps is it's kind of like bring a lot of balance within our lives, spiritually, mentally, and physically. Okay, so you will know when your frequency are disrupted, when you're under a lot of stress, when you feel like you're getting sick often, when you're feeling like there's a mental fog, there's an imbalance within you. We just have to sit back and pay attention. It's like, why is it that I'm feeling off? Maybe it's like there's some frequencies. It's like there's something that is missing or triggering. There's some electrical magnetic field that's in balance. So it's very important for you to listen to different frequencies that make sense to you. Okay? I just want you to understand that frequency plays a role in self-signaling, neurocommunication, hormone regulation, mitochondrial activity, and immune responses. So this is not something that us spiritual people just came up with, that we lost our mind, that we're crazy. I'm like, no, this is very scientific information that I'm giving to you. I'm not going to give you so much depth to it because you can spend days, just reading. I'm going down the rabbit hole. But these are some of the things for you to keep in mind and do your own research. And you can look more deep into it, what it actually means to heal. Music is very important for us. Listen to whatever makes you feel good. Sometimes we reject certain type of music. Maybe that's not your level of frequency. You reject it is because it's not for you. And if you're geared to something that's more enticing, something that you're really drawn to, it is like that is your vibe, that is your frequency, that makes you feel better. There's no judgment when it comes to listen to different type of music. Okay. So now, with that being said, I'm gonna if you have any comments or any questions about frequencies and healing, and you want to learn a little bit more, you can comment below the video, and and I can help you as much as I can. Keep in mind, healing is very broad. It's not, there's no book. I mean, there's tons of books out there, there's tons of guides, but it's kind of like, do what makes sense to you, do what makes you feel right. Okay, because we all are different. We have different vibrations, so don't be afraid to explore it and do healing the best way that you can. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with Pisces, and I'm going to recommend what are type of the frequencies that you may want to listen to it. Again, this may not resonate with everybody. Like I mentioned earlier, everybody's at a different healing journey, but maybe this is something that may help you start somewhere. Okay. Okay, for Pisces, the healing frequencies that I got for you, it ranges from 25 through 150 hertz. This range is to help reduce inflammation within your body, and also it promotes a deep relaxation. So Pisces, if you're feeling a little off and you need to relax, or maybe you have inflammatory joints or things like that, maybe this is a frequency that you may want to hear about it. Just keep in mind, I'm not a medical expert. No, these are recommendations. This is something that if you want to look into it, it's not an obligation, okay? It's just something that you may want to look into if you're interested. Okay. The next one is Aries. Aries, I got 285 hertz frequency for you. This is to promote tissue for damaged organs or tissues. and also for reparation, and it helps heal different types of wounds like cuts, burns, and scars. I don't know why I got that, but that's what was recommended for you. Perhaps it doesn't resonate with you, but you may want to check out your other placements in your chart and find something that really resonates with you. So the next one is Taurus. Taurus, I got 417 hertz for you. Means that there's a need for you to let go of the past and to forgive those who have wronged you, and also to ask forgiveness for those that you've wronged. Okay, just keep that in mind. For Gemini, I have the frequency of 174 hertz. There's a need for you to slow down. I think you're going into full speed at this time. You need to slow down and ground yourself. There's a energy here that you need to find some inner peace and love for yourself. So there's a lot of self-care energy going on here. All right. The next one is Cancer. Cancer, I have 528 hertz for you. It is associated with DNA repair and positive transformation. So Cancer, you may need, you're probably in the process, or maybe you have started transforming yourself in a more positive way, creating more self-awareness of how you want the world to view you. So maybe with this hertz, it can help you work on that. Okay. Now for my Leos, I got a range between 30 to 100 hertz. This is for heightened awareness, also for spiritual awareness for those who are in the spiritual path, and mental performance. So if you have a mental fog, or you're not remembering things, or you're so stressed that you're forgetting things, this would be a very good hertz for you for mental performance. Okay. For Virgo, you have 396 hertz. This is to eliminate any fear, any anxiety that you may be going through. And also it's going to help you remove any negative emotional blockages that you may be experiencing, and some sort of self-guilt about something. Okay. For my Libras, I have 852 hertz. This is for you to let go of any overthinking. Maybe at this point you're overthinking and you're worrying about things that perhaps you don't have much control of it. But this is listening to this type of frequency is going to help you find that inner peace that you need to look for. Okay. For Scorpio, I was really impressed for Scorpio. I got 100 hertz. For Scorpios, this is very regenerative and deeply healing. And when it comes to 100 hertz, this is where your spirit guides sit right here in the back of your neck. So that's a lot of focus and concentration when you're like listening to that frequency. It's like, it's a very deep healing that's going to help you open up more to things and see things, It's almost like a reset of all your 7 chakras. So it's very interesting that you got that. So this is going to help you with focusing on your goals, and is going to balance everything around your life, your hopes and feelings. And there's a lot of emphasis and concentration. You have to really concentrate what you really want. So Scorpios, you may want to listen to this frequency. Sagittarius, I have 741 hertz for you. This is to help improve your intuition and helps with self-expression. Maybe there's something you have to create a little bit more self-awareness of how you express yourself. Maybe there's an area of improvement there. Maybe, the way you express yourself to certain people and they're not receiving it well. So maybe this is more of to help you be more self-expressive in a positive way. So it's a very transformative period for you. I hope that makes sense for you. Capricorn, I have 285 hertz. This is a full body recovery to strengthen your immune system. I don't know, Capricorn, maybe some of you have been getting sick often. I know that Capricorns are always like, more focused at work. So maybe it's time for you to step back and, have a full body recovery, and some self-care is needed here at this time. Last but not least is Aquarius. Aquarius, I got 0.5 hertz for you. Yeah, that's pretty simple, right? But what it means is like you may need to do some profound meditation for deep relaxation. This is going to help improve sleep and reduce stress. So when it's at 0.5 hertz, that means you can sit down and do meditation, listen to music that you like at your frequency. It doesn't have to be 0.5 hertz, but maybe there's like you need to step back and meditate. You can listen to sound bath, something very soothing. And this is all I have for all 12 zodiacs, and I hope this makes sense for you. I know that healing and healing frequencies is very complex. It's not not a simple subject to talk about, but I just want to give you a brief, introduction to it. And hopefully, when you start on your healing journey or you're at your healing journey, these are some of the things that you may want to consider and look into. So with that being said, I hope you have a wonderful Sunday, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.